Now, if you live in Florida, or you're going to be visiting Florida soon, there's a bunch of wildlife roaming these streets, and one day you might run into one, but you might not know what to do when you run into one. But look, don't worry. I did some digging. Let's get into it. All right, first up, we got raccoons, all right, also known as trash pandas. But one thing you got to know about raccoons, also known as trash pandas, is that they're evasive, all right, and they're also aggressive. Now, first off, raccoons really ain't trying to bother nobody, all right? They just trying to get something to eat, show off that opposable thumb. But when they, are in the midst of doing something, they're really determined. I've seen these things like hold their ground with a bear. Now, let's say it's, nighttime, and you go outside, take out your trash, and you do run into one of these, all right? And he in your trash. There's a few things that you do gotta do to make sure that this, encounter goes as smooth as possible. Thing one, all right? Don't think you're gonna scare this thing, all right? Don't try to shoo it. Don't charge at it. Don't throw nothing at it. Don't do none of the above. The first thing you wanna do is just to stop in your tracks, all right? Don't make no sudden movements. Now, the reason why I say that, they get aggressive off of being startled, all right? If you scare them up a little bit, they get really, really like agitated, right? They might charge at you, give you one of these faces, give off like a warning. That's your warning. Either go back in the house, wait till later, to when he's done, and then come take out the trash, but don't try to go against this thing head on. Thing two, all right? If it's daytime and you run into one of these things, and it's aggressive with you, like it's coming at you, charging at you for no apparent reason, you ain't even bothering it. Because like I said, these things, they really, don't got beef with you. But if it's coming at you aggressively during the daytime, just randomly, it's a high probability this thing got some kind of disease. First thing you want to do after you get into this encounter is you want to call the animal control immediately, like right now. Because if this one is a little loopy, it's probably some more little loopy ones out there. And you don't want a whole bunch of little loopy raccoon, also known as trash pandas, running around your neighborhood. Now, thing three, okay? Then we're going to move on to the next thing. If you see a family of raccoons, all right? It's like the mama and the daddy and the babies. Just understand something. Wherever you at, this their house. This their yard, the tree they sitting on, this theirs. They've already accumulated a plan to every night raid your trash can. If you ain't one of them people that leave it in the garage or something like that and you leave it outside, just understand something. Every day, every night, trash night, your trash gonna be all over the road. Guaranteed. All right, next up, we got alligators. Look, y'all know this was gonna make the list, all right? Don't act surprised. I get new followers all the time, and I gotta let them know these things. Now, if you do run into one of these while you're here in Florida, run in the other direction, okay? Let's just keep it simple. Just run in the other direction. I don't care if you zigzag. I don't care if you go straight. I don't care if you do a post route. All right? If you see one of these dinosaurs coming in your direction, just run in the other direction. Just get away from it. Now, look, strictly for my, tourists, like people that just don't know nothing about Florida. Look, I know you're going to come down here, you're going to do some kind of little thing, and you might run into an alligator, okay? And you're going to be looking at this alligator like, oh, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, it's a cool creature. But look, this creature ain't thinking like that with you. He ain't looking at you like, oh, I'm some beauty. It's looking at you like a target, all right? So don't get caught up in trying to take pictures and getting too close to these things thinking like, oh, it can't happen to me, because it can, all right? This thing don't know nothing about no tourism. Anyway, if you on like one of our trails right by some water and you end up, running into an alligator on the trail, and the alligator starts doing stuff like this, it like open up its mouth like threatening you, getting real big, making like a oh noise. You know what I'm saying? Now look, I'm not an alligator guy, but I heard that if they are doing that, it's some babies around, and they just trying to like get you out of the area. All right, next situation. All right, let's say you in one of our lakes here in Florida, which is nuts. But if you do run into an alligator while you in a lake, get under it if you can, okay? I know a lot of people probably think like alligators are always hungry and they always trying to eat, but sometimes they're not. you know? And sometimes they might just be aggressive because this their territory. But if you could get up under it, it's probably like the best place that you want to be. First up, this is too much for me. This is too close to an alligator, all right? I'm not going to be holding no alligator above my head like this some dance contest. You know what I'm saying? But y'all ever seen those videos when people be swimming with, alligators, they lift their head up out of the water? But the thing is that alligators they're not really strong that way. They mouth strong closing this way, but things going this way with alligators is a little bit weak. So you got a better chance of controlling the alligator if you can just control the head. Now look, like I said, I'm no alligator specialist, okay? I don't know if none of this stuff gonna work. The best thing for you to do is do not get in any bodies of water in Florida. That's the best tip I could give you. All right, next up, okay? We got the infamous Palmetto bug. And y'all knew this was gonna make the list. This should have been first, to be real with you. But if you do run into one of these, look, this gonna terrify you, but you'll be okay. Well, depending on if you have a little mild heart attack or something. But these things don't hurt you, but they will terrify you. And you got to just move with caution when they're in your vicinity because they don't have no navigational system. Now, there's no GPS. There's no direction of where these things are going when they're flying. So when they're in flight, they just, wherever they land, wherever these wings take me, I'll go. Now, I know a lot of people be like, man, how do palmetto bugs get in your house? So, first thing, they can't come in through the door. Let's say you open up the door or you be one of the people that just leave your sliding glass door open. You live in a wooded area. They'll get in that way. Now, the most common way that these can get in your house is through a drain, either through your bathroom or your kitchen sinks. They need moisture, all right? They need a little bit of water. That's how they survive. But when they do get in your house, they really don't want to be in there. Just understand that. They lost, to be honest with you, because ain't nothing in your house that they want or need. Now, if you do catch one of these, yeah, this is a real one. If you do catch one of these in your house, you know what I mean? Don't go get no raid. Don't do none of that, because the time it take you to go get the raid and come back, it's going to be done moved. All right, these things ain't stupid. It done moved, and it's in a spot now, possibly, just maybe. You don't know where this thing is now, but you do know it's in this room. And if you can't locate it, nobody is sleeping in this room. I'm going to be honest with you. I dodged the room for 3 days until I found this thing, all right? It was in that room. I lost it. I threw a sandal at it, and it flew, and I couldn't find it. I got sleepy. And I just left it, just didn't go in that room for 3 days. That was my best choice at the time. But if you think some kind of ninja, some kind of, secret warrior, and you think you can take this thing down, by all means, go ahead, all right? By all means, go ahead. But don't be upset with this thing when you done busted a lamp. You done took out 2 light bulbs. You got scuffs all on your wall because you done took the broomstick trying to reach up and hit it. It ain't this thing's fault. Should have just left it alone. It's your fault. All right, next up. I wasn't even going to put this in here, all right? Because I'm going to be honest with you. There's nothing that you can do if you run into these in these Florida waters. Your best bet is to figure out what body part that you're willing to give up so he can taste it and realize that he really don't want to eat you. That's it. That's it. Now, look, I know a lot of people come to Florida to swim with the sharks, but don't do this unless you're a professional or you don't mind not almost living. This shark don't know that you're a tourist. Don't do this. Now, look, I don't know what y'all gonna do with this information. Like it, comment, share it. I don't know, but the more you know. I don't understand how people sign up to go swimming with sharks. Peace.